Hi, everyone, and welcome to Love Works. I am Stella, and we're going to do an all signs tarot reading. We're going to look at what is coming next in romantic love. We're going to go Aries all the way through Pisces. The timestamps are below, also in the description box under chapters. If you would like a personal reading with me, my information is underneath the More tab of this video, also in the description box. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Let's see what's going on for Aries, please, as far as what is next in love. So some of this may come out as your current situation, but our current situation typically predicts what our, because whatever wherever we're at now is how we are creating our future. So we'll see. Some of you will resonate more with the current energy or the near future energy. Okay, so tell me about Aries, please. What's going on for Aries? Control tactics coming out. Okay, let's see. Oh my God, I love that picture. Aries. Just saying, call me up. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. All right, let's see. Aries. Sun, strength, oh, okay, I like this. I like this message. Ooh, okay. And with alchemy at the bottom of the deck. This is perfect because I was joking when I said that. I really was, I'm Scorpio, so, I try to be all, scorpionic, but okay. So with the control tactics, with the stiletto in the dude's face, right? And then we have the very next card coming out as Sun, strength, empowerment. So see the difference between the strengths there, right? Because it's like the sun is true, like, well, not the sun itself, but like what it's representing, right? Well, the sun is that way, I guess. But it's like the strength and empowerment that comes from like growing, right? Everything grows under the sun. So it's more like that kind of the strength that comes from empowerment, not from control or something along those lines. We also have this masculine energy here of regret and repression. So if there's any masculine energies out there, does not have to be male, but masculine energies, there could absolutely be this sense of repressing some sort of guilt or, guilt for not doing something or not going after something or something along those lines. But let's see what the tarot has to say. All right, so what's going on for Aries as far as what is coming next in romantic love? So in order to do that, we're going to look at where things have been and then where things are, and then we'll take a look at the near future energy that wants to come out. Okay, so tell me about Aries. Okay. Oh, yeah, nice. Okay. Page of Cups underneath the deck. And we're ending kind of on the Knight of Cups. So, like, if we look at these two together, they are in communication, okay? So I do feel like there will be some sort of communication here in some way. Those of you who are single, this is really good news. I feel like there is. If you are learning the difference between how to, like, not to try to control something, right? And instead realize that the true control is self-control, empowerment, that type of thing. I feel like there's absolutely something new coming your way. Maybe around the workplace for some of you, but we'll get to that. So, I mean, recent past is great. We have the Wheel of Fortune, the Empress, and Strength. So, I mean, that is a lot of feminine, like divine feminine energy showing up right there, Aries. Being in a higher energy, keeping the mind on positive things, turning the wheel. The Empress is self-care, like in the physical world also, and growing, beautiful things in the physical world. And then we have this like cosmic, mindset in a good way. We also have this inner strength that is showing up. The one thing I would say, Aries, is then don't be afraid to show that off, not in a flashy, cocky way or anything like that, but don't be afraid to show that you are an inwardly strong feminine energy if you are feminine, right? Or let that anybody has that energy. So like if you were developing that, let that show. You also have this Eight of Cups, the Fool card, and the Ace of Pentacles. So what I feel this is also saying, Aries, is that you are ready for more self-reliance in your life. Okay, because it's like, I don't feel like it's like you walking away from, oh, I don't want to be this anymore or anything like that. I feel like the Eight of Cups is walking away from more. It's not like walking away from, it's like walking toward, is the way I'm seeing this Eight of Cups. Like you're walking toward new opportunities in your life. So you are ready. All right. That's what I see this as saying. Like you are ready for new grounded opportunities in your life. So whether that be romantic, whether it be about your work and career, it's like you have definitely done a lot of work to empower yourself in a positive way, and you're ready to turn that wheel. So that it's at that, you're at that point where those of you who have been doing like a lot of self-work, and I mean honestly doing a lot of self-work, all right, not just like watching a video or two or reading a book and agreeing with things, but actually practicing those things for yourself and your inner development, then I do feel like there's a lot of opportunity here. I kind of feel like it's like when your head is down and you're like into, not head is down like in depression, like head is down like into things, like you're just kind of concentrated on your work or whatever projects you're interested in right now, maybe around the house or just in life in general. That's when love comes in. Okay, so it's like your card is showing up here, Aries, with the Three of Wands. So I do believe like as you are doing this type of work and willing to accept new opportunities. So in other words, don't get hung up in the self-work. Don't convince yourself, oh, well, I'll date when, I heal or something like that. If you've been doing this work and you're you're healed, it's time for new things, new adventures in life. You have this clean slate of the Fool card here that is in the present moment, showing you that it's time to move toward that, right? And then that's when the new opportunities will show up for you. So either way, I do see you communicating with someone here in the near future. So if you are seeing someone now, then there will be more communication between you two. I do see that. There may be a bit of an age difference between you two, possibly. All right. You also have this like Eight of Wands, 10 of Wands that I don't know, it was sort of calling to me, but it doesn't really fit with the number of cards that I'm pulling for this spread. So others of you, I feel like there's a separate message here that there will like be more activity with someone, and to like free your time to be available more with this person. All right. So I do see that message as a side message, but I don't feel like it's everyone's message. So I would say like what's next in love is very positive based on this high energy of work that you are doing, like to feel inner confidence and connectedness to like source or whatever it is that you want to call that. So it looks really, really nice. All right. So let's go to Taurus. See what is up with Taurus. Okay, Taurus, please. Tell me about Taurus. Taurus. What is next in love we are looking at for Taurus? Okay. It's kind of a wild card, those two. Oh, all right. I feel like we have two separate messages, so let's look at those. Okay. Okay, so you have Alchemy, Ancestor Guides, first card, Receive and Open. Notice the body language here. We're seeing the palm open, because I always like to bring that up when people have conversations or something like that, to make sure, like if you're wanting to have this conversation, not to be, like this, or, like this, or something along those lines. We want to be open, we want to be welcoming, that kind of thing. We also have detachment, cold. Interesting. Okay. So, okay. And then we have inner child, toxicity, and self-care. Oh, how interesting. The toxicity card is like this. You see that card in the middle? And I didn't even notice that that was there. Okay. So, okay, this is an interesting pattern, Taurus. So before we get to the tarot and see, there's definitely something here about, especially with the alchemy and ancestor guides showing up first. I feel like this is their message for you. Like they want to guide you toward like healthier self-care when it comes, and healing the inner child when it comes to romantic relationships, and to you, there may be something within you that's very open to very detached people. And then having to go through this cycle of, being open, being open, being open, but these people are very detached, detached, detached. And then that causes like this needing to heal. And then also like this closing up and not wanting to trust love or trust situations. So with the self-care card showing up, because, your first card is this alchemy, and your last card, is this self-care card. So I feel like and then that other stuff is in between. The open palm, the closed fist. So I do feel like there's this message here of learning learning from past experience, how to recognize, like, it's not that being open is a bad thing, or that you need to close yourself off to certain people, or protect yourself and put up all these boundaries and things like that. It's like, be open to receiving, absolutely, that's always beautiful, but recognize, like, as far as what you are giving to, recognize if there is anything to this, recognize the pattern of giving to closed off people, or people who don't give back. It should be somewhat, ideally it should be an equal balance, but it should, let's be realistic, right? It should be ideally somewhat of an equal balance between those things. So if it hasn't been, those are the things to heal, and they probably have something to do with inner child. All right, maybe like trying to, like, maybe you really had to give a lot in order to get attention from a parent or something like that. Or maybe you guys did have like a detached parent in some way. They might have been very jovial and fun and things like that with you, or but very detached when it came to actual love, feelings or something like that. Or the opposite. They could have just been, a jerk, and that kind of stuff too. But it's like healing that is going to help heal your relationships. Okay, so let's see what's going on for Taurus. Okay, Taurus. So we're going to take a little look of like where things have been, where they are now, and where they are going. All right. So what do we have for Taurus? Taurus placements, please. Venus, Moon, Rising, things like that. Taurus and romantic love. What can they expect? Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Well, all right. I think, well, actually, yeah, wow. Yeah, I see communication in your future, and I see like pretty big communication in your future, even though it sees like 2 pages. It's like the start of something that could really grow. You have the 2 of Cups in this reading, so I feel in a lot of communication cards. So I do feel like there's some possibility here. So let me take a look at this recent past here. 7 of Pentacles, Hanged Man, the Magician. Yeah, I feel like there's masculine energy here that is needing to see things from a different perspective for sure. Not to look at relationships as like work, or, well, I don't know. Do I want another relationship? That's a lot of work. Or, or this may be your masculine, kind of what they're going through. So it's not like about you personally. It's just about like their energetic feelings about love in general. All right. I see them sort of just feeling like, man, I don't know, this is a lot of work. Should I put this work into love again, or something along those lines? So I feel like they're struggling right now in their life with trying to see things from a different perspective. And because I think deep down they do desire like true partnership, true connection. So with the Magician here, ultimately it feels like they are going forward. Okay. So then we have in this current energy, we have the 8 of Wands, the Page of Wands, and the Page of Swords. So I do see communication here, but it feels very masked. All right. Masked. Like, it's not really that open connection that's fine, because maybe it's just someone like you just met, or, something along those lines, or are about to just meet. And of course, it's not like well, sometimes we do, but not always do we meet someone and then just, have this huge open connection and, put everything out on the table. Although, sometimes we do, and sometimes those are the best relationships. But I feel like right now it's more in this sort of like, well, what do they mean by that? Or are they interested? I don't know. Can I trust this person? It's a lot of, and someone here too could be over texting, by the way. So heads up there. But I do feel like it's a lot of like not being authentic is what I see in the current energy, like not being one's authentic self. So there's naturally then some standoffishness, or like this feeling of, can I really trust this person, or something along those lines. Now, in the near future energy, though, not sure what happens there, but it seems to get ironed out. Here's what I think happens. Okay. Honestly, I think it might have a little to do with this reading. And I'm not trying to, but this might be what the situation is. All right. Is like realizing this, because now we have this like empowered kind of Nine of Pentacles and this empowered Emperor. All right. A lot different than what I'm seeing here in the current energy. So there may be something here where what's recommended is to step things up. And by that, I don't mean like force anything or anything that doesn't feel natural. In fact, just the opposite, to be very natural, to know, hey, we're both adults. We're playing this little texty game, and I have my insecurities, you have your insecurities, and all that kind of stuff. But you know what? Let's just connect. So it's more like, no pun intended, like putting the cards out on the table, all right, and in a very adulting kind of way. So not in a like insecure sort of, I don't know. I feel like you have to throw patterns out the window with this situation. So in other words, if you always if you look at things as like hooking someone, like, oh, I'm going to hook this guy, or, things like that's not going to work. Things like that aren't going to work. Or if you look at things like, well, I always say this in texts and this always gets them, things like that, that's not going to work. Things like that aren't going to work anymore. And I don't know how they have lasted this long. Well, I do, but it's time to abandon those types of things. All right. And just move towards genuine, authentic connection. And I feel like, again, it doesn't mean you have to tell everyone your life story. When I'm talking about genuine, authentic connection, I'm talking about dropping all of the insecurities, all right, of a situation. And it's like, kind of stepping up the communication a little bit, maybe to a phone call, or, something a little more serious. All right, still flirty, and still, if you're in the beginning stages, cool, keep that's all fine. But there is something about like a little bit more genuine conversation is going to bring you more to the place that you trust each other, that, yeah, there could be this beautiful connection between us. Okay. So something about that will bring more forward movement. I would also urge anyone who's an over-texter, like not to over-text at this time. And again, like quality over quantity is the absolute perfect. Like if this was just a separate video for YouTube, that's Taurus, that's what I would title it. All right, is quality over quantity for sure. Okay. All right. So that's what I have for Taurus. Let's go to Gemini. Okay, Gemini, please. What's going on, Geminis? Gemini. Any placement, Gemini, like Venus or Moon or Rising are good for these. Okay. What do we have for Geminis? What is next in romantic love, Geminis? Okay. Okay, so we have nurture and compassion. Attraction, hot. Oh, it's Mars energy. Okay. And we have Venus energy. Uh-oh. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so your very first card, you have nurture, compassion, and then you have this attraction, Mars, hot, and Venus, offer. Okay, it's hard to see the offer word. Oh, well, especially when my hand is covering up. The offer word is written in the corner there. Okay. All right. So let's see. So Gemini. All right. So it seems definitely like there's like a chemistry attraction. But the thing is, one person may be looking at it from Venus energy of like a romantic love offer, and the other person may be looking at it as, ooh, hot, Mars, aggression, passion, like that kind of thing. So you may have like a kind of scenario here where someone's seeing more romantic and like that sort of thing, and somebody's looking more physical at things. Okay, so let's take a look and see what's going on. All right, so tell me about Gemini, please. Like, what's been going on? What is going on? Where are things going as far as what is next in romantic love? If you're single, I mean, we do have the word offer here. Yeah, so I do feel, you know what, though? Freedom. Yeah, freedom might be your ticket right now. Because I got to be honest, with the bottom of the deck, I'm looking at it, and, I didn't pull it, these are the cards I pulled, but at the bottom of the deck is separation and rejection here. So, and then, I'm sorry, separation and longing. And then the next card being rejection and then fragmented. All right. So, and then transformation, memories, nostalgia, guarded, vulnerability. So there may be something where it's like using this sort of passion and things to like get over some sort of loss or fragmented emotional energy, maybe possibly from a different experience to be, yeah, absolutely, to be careful of. So yeah, all right, let's see what the tarot has to say. Okay, so what's going on for Gemini, what has been, what is, and what's coming in, Geminis. Okay, justice, interesting. Yeah, death card. Okay, that combination is definitely like a cycle really needs to be ended and transformed and moved forward from. Okay, so we'll talk about that in a minute. I'll show you the cards. Okay. Oh, wow. All right. Some of you may be involved with a Scorpio also. Okay. Yeah, I feel like right now, and there's your card. Okay, someone will be communicating with you. Yeah, this is good. Okay, what I'm seeing is good. And what I'm seeing, yeah, there's someone though to like move away from. Okay, so that's why I was seeing those cards. So I don't think it's this new situation that's necessarily like this rejection and things like that. I feel like it's stuff that's still kind of swimming around the psyche, and that needs to absolutely be dealt with through nurturing yourself and having compassion and those types of things. Yeah, I do feel like you guys, I mean, we do have the Scorpio card here, and you do have another couple Scorpio cards in your reading, so some of you may be dealing with a Scorpio. If so, like, I don't think it's the new person. I think that it would only apply if you had a Scorpio in your past, or like something that was difficult and hard, emotionally and things like that. All right, so if you have a new Scorpio, this would not apply. Okay, but I don't think it's that sign particularly. I think what this is saying for the most of you, all right, because not everybody, not every Gemini is out there dealing with a Scorpio, we have Libra here too, but Scorpio cards are showing here. But I feel like Scorpio cards are showing because Scorpio energy is about transformation. It's about looking at things, like digging things up from like that root and seeing them for what they truly are. Like truly understanding, why we get ourselves into things or why we might behave a certain way to attract a certain type and those types of things, learning from that and then fighting like hell to improve that. All right. So it's like, that's what I see going on in your recent past here. There's a cycle that is like balanced, but it may be hard for you to recognize then like what's next. So I do feel like you guys are balancing some sort of like cycle in your life, letting something go, something has ended, And it's very difficult, though, to know, like, okay, how do I rebuild myself after that? What do I do next? And I do think, though, that with the Queen of Wands here, there is a good energy. However, one thing to keep in mind is that, like, okay, if you went through like a pretty major separation or breakup or something like that, it doesn't necessarily mean like, okay, what's next? Oh, go find somebody else, or maybe I should start dating again, and that get back on the horse. Isn't that strange? Why they say that? Okay, stuff like that, and it's like, yeah, sometimes that can be a little bit of the answer, but it's never the full answer. I feel like this is demanding more like internal, personal, like self-reliance and change, okay, from what I am seeing here. So I feel like that message is coming through for some of you, all right? So not just to feel like, well, okay, I have to be this like Venetian goddess and super attracting and go out and date now or something like that. If you're a masculine energy also, I feel like there's this sort of energy of not following through. And it's like, so I don't know. I feel like there's just a history of like not following through with who you're really interested in or who you really want to go for. Or some of you may have like a high Capricorn in your chart if you're masculine energy, and like find things to pick apart or something along those lines. And there's definitely more energy here to like recognize that and understand that this is for masculines, this part I'm talking about. Understand that, yeah, it's nice to have that Mars attraction, hotness and all that stuff, but, not all of us, but most women, want more of a beautiful experience, right? I mean, of course, we like hot experiences and all that, but it's like, but in the like core of where things are going, it's like, I would say, most women are more about, building something of value. It's not just based on that hotness of Mars energy all the time. So I don't know. There's something there to not, I would say if you're a masculine, not to like be too critical or pick apart things before you've actually really connected with someone on a soul-to-soul level. All right, because you might be more surprised than you think, and that might be your blockage if you are a masculine. Okay, but back to feminine energy or whomever, it doesn't matter, just back to the reading. I would say with the World card, Knight of Pentacles, and Eight of Pentacles showing up in your near future, that this is really, I do feel someone is coming in because you had those like connections there of like communication. But I do feel like the main message of your reading is what's next in love should be like self-reliant love. All right, like working on yourself, working on a plan, working on what you truly want to build and do, and what you get excited about, like what you want to put your energy into. Some of you possibly have talent at like more entrepreneurial type endeavors or something along those lines. But it's like needing to like literally like make a plan and see that is possible, and start thinking possibly more along those lines for yourself. Maybe there's like a side thing that you can do that will turn into a full-time thing that you can do or something along those lines. But as far as romantic love, we did see communication coming in. So I do think that there is something kind of around. I would say though, to just sort of with well, I'm not even going to say with caution, because it's not about caution. It's about with self-empowerment. All right. So don't be just like dating because you feel like you should just get back out there. Like that's the answer or something like that. Be dating because you want to date. You want to connect. You want to attract, a high frequency. If you are in a high frequency, if you're not in a high frequency, then you're not going to attract a high frequency, right? Because sort of situation. So that's what I am seeing there for Gemini. All right. Let's go to Cancers. Okay. All right, Cancers, what do we have for you? What is next in romantic love? All right, Cancers. Cancers. Okay. Aw, all right. So at the bottom of the deck, you have soul ties or reunion. Okay. All right. So don't worry, that's not everyone's message. Doesn't mean like, you're getting back together with somebody you don't want to get back together with or anything like that. But for some of you, if that is something you're looking forward to, there you go. All right, so limitations and fears is the first card that came out. Kind of reminds me of like an Eight of Swords vibe, this card. Okay, we have karma, balance, and justice as the middle energy here. And we have rejection, loss, and fragmented. All right, this was at the bottom of the deck for Geminis. Okay, so some of you may be possibly dealing with Gemini. We also have Libra energy here as well. Okay, so let's see. Limitations, fears, karma, balance, justice, rejection, loss, fragmented. Okay, so those of you who are, yeah, oh wow, Dark Night of the Soul is underneath the deck. Oof. But then forming structure and solid foundation under that. And remembering and awakening as under, I don't have that many hands that I can keep grabbing cards, but okay. So, oh wow, all right. So some of you, I would say this looks pretty heavy. I didn't expect, like I wasn't feeling that it was going to be a heavy read for Cancers. But for some of you, it's a heavy read. Okay. But let's see what the tarot brings out, because this might be stuff that's like inner fear that is more like saying, hey, there is something good here, but like pay attention to this stuff. All right, so let me see what we get with the tarot, and then we'll put this all together. All right, so what's going on for Cancers as far as what has been going on, what is going on, what's coming in, as far as what's next in romantic love. Okay, all right, Cancers, please. Yeah, interesting. Okay. All right. What is next in romantic love? Interesting. So you keep getting Eight of Wands a lot. Okay. All right. Cancers. What has been going on? What is going on? What's coming in? Cancers. Okay. Ace of Wands. Tower. And King of Pentacles. Okay, Eight of Wands came out. All right. Oh yeah. Hello, Knight of Wands. Oh, you're thinking about somebody. Oh, okay. Okay. Possibly going toward a Scorpio or a Virgo. Here's the thing, though. I think like you keep wanting to contact somebody else. All right. That's what I'm seeing. Yeah, because look. Okay. Oh. What falls to the floor comes to the door, Cancers. All right, because you have Ace of Cups and 10 of Pentacles here. All right, as like if you are willing to let go of something and move forward, right? But here's what the Hermit is pointing out, like how it's like you definitely needing to exercise like this sort of inner strength, all right? Instead of flirting with like someone who has walked away, or someone who doesn't show interest. So I do feel like there's, especially with that like reunion and stuff like that, because I don't feel like this is predictive necessarily. I feel like this is what you want. And then that's why it's causing like this dark night. And, until like you're realizing like something needs to be built on a solid foundation rather than the Tower, because the Tower is a card of not being on a solid foundation. And that's showing in the past. And it's like, no matter what, that's not going to be the King of Pentacles then. All right, no matter how much we want them to be our King of Pentacles, if it's not built on a solid foundation, they're not going to be our King of Pentacles, right? And it's like, then it's saying, remember, awaken, okay? And what do we have here? What's retreat and expectations, longing, isolating. Okay, so here's what I see, all right? That there's definitely like this longing for this Knight of Wands person. Okay. Now this isn't everyone's reading. All right, but this is what I'm getting. There is one other scenario I see in here that's more positive if this does not sound like your story. But it's like for most of you, what I feel is coming out here is that there's this tendency to, like Queen of Cups, right? Like she, in this particular way, I feel like she's reflecting, because it's the way I'm seeing it on the table, she's looking this way, which is towards the past in tarot. So it's like on this Knight of Wands and like, should I message them or remember when they messaged me and we used to text and wow, they were so hot and they were interested in me and stuff like that. There's like all this like stuff of, but it feels like false. It feels like it was not, sometimes we have a tendency, us water signs, to remember things much deeper than they actually are, or that they are to someone else. And I'm not trying to knock down an experience, or not in a critical way or anything like that. When I say these things, it's because I've been through them myself. Generally, that's usually why I say those things, or I have a lot of experience with others, or friends, or something like that, who have gone through these things. And water, is water runs deep, right? And there's something here about, in the past, like having this epiphany that, yeah, I need to be grounded. I need a King of Pentacles or something like that, but then not taking that action, and instead thinking about someone else who's like a Knight of Wands. And I feel like that's like nothing's moving forward, right? Nothing's changing until like you, Cancer card, right? Like see that and change, and don't try to reignite something like that wasn't very good. All right, it was it felt like rejection. It fragmented your energy, and it's something about some sort of karma, all right, to learn about. And when I talk about karma, I don't talk about it as lessons, all right. I talk about karma as like actions, all right, but it's the actions that we take and what we give our attention to that form our actions, right, that are going to bring about our circumstances, which then are either good or bad, depending. So there's something here where it's like you may be limiting yourself, out of fear. And it's like maybe it's safer to just like go through these dark nights of the soul about like this one person, because like they're not going to come around. They're not. And I know that sounds weird, but sometimes people find like safety in that, because then they can blame that, instead of going for bigger things, newer things, better relationships, that kind of deal. So I feel like that is definitely it's a little self-sabotagey is what I'm seeing here. So there's definitely an urging here for you to like recreate yourself, all right? To let the past situations that were not built on a good, healthy foundation, let those go. Let them crumble and trample over them, right? So that you can like make and clear a path for the new, energetic, Venus, kind of fiery. Well, Venus isn't, but it's like that type of energy to move forward in your life. That's what I see. So that's the message I am getting there. We are on to Leo. Okay, Leo. Leo, please. All right, what is the message for Leo? We are looking at what is next in romantic love. Leos, please. Leo. Okay. Okay, dreams. All right. Okay, so you guys got this was at the bottom of the deck for the Cancer reading. You have reunion and soul ties. Okay. But then you have, let's see. Oh, okay. So interesting. Reflection, projections, messages, and dreams. So some of you may really be in the energy of someone like that. Someone that I used to know. Someone that you want to connect with again. Or there could be like a past life person that is about to enter your life as a new person in this life. Okay, so let's see what we get with the tarot. Okay, what's going on for Leos, please? Leo. As far as what is coming in, what is next in love? What's been going on? What is going on? And what is next in regards to romantic energy for Leos? Leos. Okay. Could be some over texting or over obsessing with something right now, possibly. I feel that's a cross-watcher message. All right. Let's see. Okay, what do we have going on for Leo, please? Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. Nice. Okay, I see new possibilities for you, and you actually do have some communication in the near future position. Okay, but it feels like there's something about letting something else go. Okay, which seems to be like the theme du jour today, and that's common because that usually is the theme du jour, is to like let go of things that aren't working, right, so that new things can come. Because let's face it, when we watch tarot readings about romantic love, it's generally for two reasons. Generally because we're single and we want to know what's coming up next, right? Or it's like because we have a situation, and it's like a heavy situation. It's a karmic situation. It's a situation that needs to kind of work itself through. So it's like, I don't know. I do feel like in the recent past, like someone may have tried to reach out to you, but you might have been like with something else or someone else. All right. Someone may have tried to reach out to you. Definite age difference here, or you may have viewed them as being like too immature or something like that. I don't know. I feel like in the current energy, because we have these like page, knights, but then we have pages going into a king. Yeah, I feel like you have a choice here of like, do you want to move forward or not, basically. All right. Let me see. Clarify the present energy. Because there's this indecisiveness to things with the Two of Pentacles, Five of Wands, the slow kind of Knight of Pentacles that wants to cautiously go forward. So let me see. Clarify the present energy for Leos, please. Okay. Oh my God. So much contradictory energy here. Yeah. All right. You have Three of Swords, Two of Swords. Taurus, Virgo. Capricorn is also in this reading. Okay, so clarified by the Knight of Swords, which really didn't help much either. You just have a lot of characters in your like reading. We have two pages, two knights, the Hierophant and the Devil, the Hermit. All right, and then the King of Pentacles. So I feel like here's the thing. I think with this reading, because like I'm not like getting clarity from it either. So I feel like that is the reading. That in the present energy, like there might just be too much indecisiveness, too much weighing that out. Should I act quickly? Should I plan? And it's causing too much confusion. So I feel like the Hermit is saying, hey, just kind of like relax into things, and what is going to be, given is going to be given, and just expect good things. I feel like that's what the message is, because it's like it feels very convoluted in the present energy, because it's like I'm trying to clarify like already what's confusing, and the clarification is coming out confusing. So I feel like that is the message, that it's like if you try to make sense out of something that's confusing right now, it's probably just going to add more confusion to things. That sounds strange, I know, but it's like that's what I'm seeing. So because in the like near future, things are like way clearer. All right, way clearer, because the World card is about like ending all that. Ending that cycle. All right. And it's like getting curious about who is this King of Pentacles, or what would it be like to date a King of Pentacles type? Because I feel like some of you have been possibly entertaining, like there may be something about, like, your value and your worth. All right. But there's some of you that entertain things or situations that are, and when I say this, I got to say this delicately. I'm going to say it as it is and then explain that you may be entertaining things that are lesser than. So what I mean by that, and if you're a cross watcher, that I'm not talking about you. Okay. What I mean by that is like they're not in alignment with what you truly are looking for, but you may not have the belief or the confidence to feel like you can like have like a really grounded relationship or something, because possibly, you know, your past history has told you different, or, you know, something along those lines. Or some of you may be really hung up, or not hung up, that sounds again very negative, but like really thinking about, dreaming about, reflecting about like this past situation instead of seeing what's right in front of you or could be right in front of you. So it's going to be different things for different ones out there. But either way, whatever energy is going on now, like if you're seeking tarot readings for clarity and whatnot, again, I feel like the more of that is just adding more confusion. So like go within. What is, you know, what you know the answer. Like what is yourself really telling you? Right? Is it telling you to hang on to this situation, you know, or is it telling you to move through it and welcome new opportunities? Or is it telling you to, hey, Leo, you should be dating a King of Pentacles, you know? Then it's like, listen to yourself. Yourself knows so much more than any possible tarot reading can give. And it's like urging you to just sort of listen to your higher energies here. And I feel like that is what is giving, that's the clarity. All right, that's the clarity you are seeking. And it always is. Bottom line, honestly, it's always the clarity that you are really seeking is within. So this is just like a reminder saying that. And it's like once that can come to an end and you can kind of close that cycle of welcome new opportunities, but only like opportunities, like expect like really good opportunities. Don't expect everyone to be like, oh, they're just flirting. Oh, they're not really serious. You know, expect really good, you know, offers and situations. And I feel like that's exactly what will happen. All right. But all that other stuff has to be like, you know, kind of dissipated. So from your energy and expectations towards meeting quality, and it's going to come quick. Like it's in your near future position. So like get ready for this. All right. Be ready for a King of Pentacles or Queen of Pentacles or whatever, you know, makes sense for you. Get ready for that energy because it's coming in. Okay. All right. So that is Leo. We're on to Virgo. Okay. Virgo, please tell me about Virgo. What is next in romantic love, Virgos? Virgo, please. Okay. Okay. Let's see what we have. Remember and Awakening at the bottom of the deck. Okay, so we have spy, watching, and inspecting. Okay, so possibly checking out somebody's social media. Maybe you're checking out theirs, they're checking out yours. Oh, shadow side. Okay, so that would be the shadow side of things. All right. Especially, I always mention that to people, like if you're trying to like separate energy or, you know, as they say, like cut cords and things like that, right? Then it's always a good idea not to be checking on their social media because that just extends the energetic connection, right? Yeah, separation, longing. Oh, Virgo. All right. So this is probably not everyone's reading, but there's probably a Virgo that, you know, is, so, you know, check your Venus or rising if this is not your reading. Yeah, the past and suffering here. Okay. So, closed off, resistance. Wow. Okay. But then you have chemistry, passion. Okay, and assistance from spirit guides. Okay, so spirit guides are helping you through this. It may not feel like it, but at this time, it's definitely this feeling of separation from someone, longing for someone that I am seeing here. And we're going to check the tarot and see what's going on with this situation. But again, I'm all, you know, I always will go to this like spy or watching card as like not a fan, and it's like not to shame anyone, you know, don't feel ashamed, or, you know, it's not like that's not the goal here, you know, on this channel, but just to like notice like why, you know, that isn't, you know, healthy for someone, because it's just going to increase that dark night of the soul. Because the thing is, when we are in separation from someone, or longing for them, then it's like we're already in that energy. So our selective bias then is when we go to their social media. I mean, why is it that we're going to their social media to spy? We're going because we're expecting to see something, bad, like, oh, they're with somebody else, or they've updated their status, or, who's that person in their picture, or, things like that. So we're already in that mode. So then we're just going to like balloon that into things. Whereas it might be like your ex or who you're in separation with or who you are longing for, right? But it's like it might be a picture of them with someone else, that maybe that someone else is like legitimately just a friend. Well, we're not going to register it that way. We're going to register it as, oh my God, well, who's that? And then we're going to do all kinds of more spying work to find out who that person is, right? And there's nothing about love in that equation. All right. And we want to keep things high and in like a good love vibration. All right, of things that are healthy for us, things that work out for us, things that are respectful and feel good for ourselves, right? Okay, so let's see what's going on for Virgo, please. What's been going on, what is going on, and what is coming in for Virgos. Virgo. Oops, okay. Virgo. Yeah, spirit guides definitely looking out for you, for sure. All right. I just heard like, and I don't like the song at all. It's like a song I really do not like. Something about Cecilia. I think it was like Paul Simon, I want to say. So maybe Paul or Simon or Cecilia or Cecile or I don't know. Something like that is coming to mind. Okay. All right. All right, the man, it could be a Pisces. Yeah, I feel like you may be trying to like reason with someone that just isn't. I feel like you guys like have different, and I talk about this in my little like handmade cards, like different love languages. Okay, like the way they express love and the way you express love are like completely different. So there's something there. Also, too, I'm getting this sense of some of you may not even have someone necessarily, like where it's like this big separation or something like that. For some of you, it might be just this like longing for something as more of a distraction. Okay, like maybe like being in love is like your muse in a way of life, like having someone to focus on or having someone to have a crush on or having someone to be into, could be like your muse in life. Like that's what motivates you or like gets you to like function throughout things. That's kind of a strange message, but that just came to me. All right, what I'm seeing here though is actually, okay, if you are in separation with someone, you guys had an argument, something like that, I do feel like there will be contact in the near future. All right, and maybe even like an opportunity here to work things out. All right, and try to get on the same page about things. For sure. So I do think that could be happening. There may be a like masculine energy here who, like I said, different love languages, who their love language is just like love, like, hey, whatever happens, and yours might be, well, okay, that's great, but I need a plan, or vice versa. It could be vice versa. But it's like the Queen of Swords is saying, yeah, I don't want this up in the air, take forever, until we have a child and move in and get married and start, working together and stuff like that. It's like, I want a plan. And I feel like your masculine is more like, whoa, no, I love you, baby, but let's just see what happens, or something like that, where they're a little bit more go with the flow, and you're more, like, well, I want to see at least some kind of goal or plan here. So, like I said, I feel like your love languages are different, so that could be like a cue as to what to sort of like see in each other, and help each other understand about each other, and maybe that could help towards some sort of more healing and getting somewhere, because I do feel like you will have something good coming in here in the near future that helps bring things together. It could even be counseling. Sometimes the Three of Pentacles is like a counseling card at times. Or something about like literally moving. All right, could be something to set as a goal for both of you, like moving, buying a home, moving in together, something like that could be a goal in your future. So whatever it is that you're going through now, I don't see it as lasting like a really long time. I feel like there is some sort of resolution at hand, and fairly soon. The only thing I would say is to then don't entertain this energy so much of longing, separation, dark side, shadow side of things, spying on things and stuff like that. It's like, instead, think of like, what would love do? Would like love, would love like spy, or like, or stay in this heavy energy or something like that? Or would love like express itself and have a good conversation about things? Or, hey, I want to understand, show me what you're thinking, or what do show me what you're feeling. Let's see if we can kind of move this toward a symbiotic situation. So that's what I see there, is expressing yourself, because it's like pretty much all of us deep down want some kind of plan, but we don't always express that. And so if we go along with the flow out of fear that if we do express a plan that's going to scare them away, well, then that which you fear will come upon you. But it's always better to just be authentic and genuine, and know like when the timing is right and that comes from observance and knowing who, your person, like really know them and observe them. And it's like, and knowing that timing of when to have certain conversations, instead of trying to quietly steer things in the way that we want them to go. It's like, express ourselves instead. Especially like Virgos, I feel like aren't they're so good at a lot of things, but I feel like and I have a lot of planets in Virgo, so I'm not like a Virgo hater or anything like that. I have a lot of planets in Virgo, and I've known a lot of great Virgos, but I do feel like there's an element to Virgo sometimes that, because you guys you do know many times, let's face it, like the right way to go, but instead of expressing that, I feel like Virgos tend to kind of maneuver underneath the surface toward that. And then that can appear after a while as like then the other person can like see that and go, oh, they're controlling, or they're controlling me, or something like that. So it's always better to just express ourselves, because you do have a good plan. You do have a good idea of where things should go, or, how to become more grounded and secure and have more fun and flirtiness and, things like that in your relationship. You do have a good idea of those things, but it's trying to secretly maneuver it is never going to work. All right. So I do feel like there's something here about having a really good conversation about a goal. All right. Just setting like a goal with your person. That's what I'm seeing. All right. So that's what I have for Virgo. Again, probably not everyone's reading, but, check your Venus or rising or moon. Okay. So we're on to Libra. All right. Libras, please. Libra. What is coming in romantic love? Libras. All right. Libra. Pluto. What was that album? All right. She was a good singer. All right. Or is. Okay. What do we have? Pluto, transformation, self-worth, expectations, and memories, nostalgia. Okay. So let's see. Is that a masculine or a feminine? I can't tell. Huh, it's hard to tell. Okay. Let's see. And then you have divine timing. And a party. Fun. Okay. Trust divine timing, it says. Okay. So your cards are like, they don't really like tell me a story. So I'm just going to go straight to the tarot with these. So Pluto and transformation, obviously it's more like scorpionic energy of something like deeply transforming and rebuilding in a positive way, right? And then you have self-worth, expectations with this masculine energy here being shown on the card. So someone may be going through... If you are going through transformation yourself, Libras, then if there is a masculine energy in your life, does not have to be a dude or, whatever, but a masculine energy in your life, they may be on their own journey also of like understanding their expectations about things. I feel like this is someone that you possibly have soul ties with, like kind of, I don't know if it's an on-off thing or if it's just a deeper connection for you. It could be a newer person. That's fine too. But there may be something where since you are transforming so much, like they might be thinking like something's wrong with them. All right. So, which is a common theme sometimes. Like if you whenever if a person is starting to like spiritually awaken or do a lot of spiritual work within themselves, and they really hadn't done that prior and they're awakening to these things, then if they have like a partner or someone that they are dating or something like that, then the partner can be confused because it's like, they're used to you being one way, and then all of a sudden you're going through, all these exciting and rapid transformations that can be confusing to them. So it could be something like that too. But let's see what your tarot cards say as far as what is coming next in love. And to do that, we're going to take a look at what has been going on, what is going on, and then what is coming in. All right, so tell me about Libra, please. Okay, yeah, 9 of Swords, 10 of Wands. I feel like someone's like thinking about you. That's what I think. Someone's thinking about you. Because that memories and nostalgia card comes right after that. So they may have done, there may be a masculine that's done their own type of transformation and self-work, and they may be like thinking about you and thinking like, oh yeah, I remember Libra said that stuff, before, or, now they want to like have more contact with you because they understand what you were going through. Okay. For some. Yeah. Cause this person like walked away before. And or you walked away or something like that. But this person, this masculine energy, like never really like let go, but they didn't really know what to do with you either. Okay. All right. They're coming forward. Okay. I do feel like they are coming forward. I feel like they understand more of what your journey is or was, or, something along those lines is what I am seeing here. So I do see communication. Yeah, in the past, I don't know, there's definitely this like transformational energy. Like I feel like this masculine kind of had this idea of like, oh my gosh, this will be fun. We'll date, we'll have a great time, all these things. But then things got heavy, and I feel like they either walked away or you walked away. All right, because it's like that this was no longer fulfilling you, so you wanted something more. Okay, so it could be either or. But I do feel like this masculine energy hasn't really let go of the idea of you or something along those lines. I do feel like they really want to communicate with you. They want to I feel like they want more clarity on exactly like what was going on or what is going on. So this could be a new person for some of you, but I guarantee there's past life ties then. All right, because there's a strong sense of a strong soul tie here. So it could be a new person for you in this sense. But again, you probably have like old soul connections or something like that. But for most of you, I feel like this is something that's already happened, and this person just hasn't really let go, and they want more clarity on the situation, but not like, I feel like it's in a strong way, like in a healthy way. I don't feel like it's like, I don't know what happened between, or like a needy way. It doesn't feel like that at all. I feel like this person is just getting more clarity of the situation that transpired and wanting to kind of confirm that with you is what I see. So I don't know. In the near future, you have this energy though of like the Page of Swords. I feel like there's a part of them though that is really apprehensive about that, because I feel like they're annoyed at themselves for not wanting to let go. But the thing is, they can't. And I feel like they do want to move toward you. So romantically, I feel like they do want to manifest something with you. There's just something about you, I feel, that attracts this person very strongly. So, but I do think that they're annoyed at themselves that they can't control it. Okay, is what I'm seeing here. So they may be like an earth sign, quite possibly like a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. Or, I don't know, for some of you, possibly Aquarius. I'm getting Aquarius. I don't know. There's no Aquarius cards here, but I am getting like Aquarius for some reason for some of you. So it's probably like more like a psychic hit than anything I see in the cards here. So I would say in the near future, there is some sort of communication coming forward. Now, if this is just you, this might just be your energy. Like if you don't have anything going on at all, this might be your energy where it's like, there's a part of you that just wants to have fun and date and all this kind of stuff, but it's like, you're leaving that behind because you feel like, well, maybe it's just not possible. Maybe the self-worth and the expectations are coming up a little bit too much. Well, at least I have my memories and my nostalgia of those times, right? So it could be that energy too. Well, then this is saying, and especially if you're a masculine or on that masculine energy side of thinking of these types of things, then it's like, don't hold back or hold on, back to the, like that you can't have those things anymore. All right. It's like, be clear and communicate with people and look online. Maybe there's some options out there. All right. The Ace of Swords can be like an online investigative card as well. Maybe there's more people to connect with than you think here. So and I feel like that could be the annoyance. Like some of you are annoyed that that's the way it is now. Well, I remember when we didn't have to go on apps to date or, something like that. Well, okay, whatever. I remember, before there was internet. Who cares? It's like, that's not the world now. So you can remember the way it was, but it's like, it's not that way now. So it's like it's common for people to meet through apps. And you may, well, I don't understand that, or something again, though. Then that's a hard road. All right, it's like, just adapt, be flexible with things. And I do feel, instead of being annoyed with things, I feel like you would be quite excited about what you see ahead. All right, okay, so that's what I have for who was that? Libra. Okay, we're on to Scorpio. Okay, all right, Scorpio. What is next? Romantic love. Okay. Avoidance and stalemate is at the bottom of the deck. All right, so you may be in avoidance mode, Scorpio. Let's see. We have release, surrender, and purge. Okay. All right. In a healthy way, Scorpio. Okay. Let's see. We have integration, union. Beautiful. All right. That's showing up in the center. And then we have comfort zone, clinging. All right, South Node energy, what we already know, what we're already comfortable with. Okay, so, and that makes sense for Scorpio, because, I mean, think of, Scorpio energy is about, radically changing things, or not radically changing things, but, seeing that deep-rooted truth of something, right, and really inspecting it and seeing it for what it is, and then being like the death card and just trampling over that and like, yep, okay, I learned that. Next, going on to this next, major transformation. So there's something here though where you may be more, because the thing is, us Scorpios, like once we do that, like you know, when we first do that a few times in our, you know, major turning points in our lives, we're like, yeah, kick ass, I'm a Scorpio, right? And then, you know, after a while, it's like, ugh, again, you know, yeah, I'm a Scorpio, you know, and then once we get a few more of those, we're like, oh my God, why the am I a Scorpio? You know, it's like, so I get it, but it's like, we're Scorpios. So it is what we do, right? So there's something here about possibly clinging to this comfort zone of like what you already know instead of like moving. So I would strongly recommend, you know, viewing where your north node is. You probably know Scorpio already. But if you don't, you know, you can find this stuff out by typing in your birth chart data and stuff like that, astro.com, you know, whatever, and find out where your north node is. Because your north node in an astrology chart, and I'm not a fan of just going by astrology charts either. I feel like you should be open in your life to your intuition and those types of things. However, they can be helpful, you know, at times. And, you know, your north node is more about like where to strive to put the energy. The north node is where things are like possibly difficult in your life. So like, let's say you have a north node in like Virgo or something like that. So you may find like organization, like, you know, hard, or you may find being structured hard, or following like particular rules hard, you know, things like that. So whatever it is that we find difficult in our lives, not always, but usually kind of will fall into the north node category of things, because the south node is where we've already kind of aced something. We kind of, and that's great because we have that. Like, we don't want to ignore it. That south node energy, we want to take and blossom into this new energy of what we are rising up to be. So you want to utilize the south node energy because you're good at it, okay, whatever it may be, and then, you know, bring that into your north node. Okay, so you have release, surrender, integration, and then this comfort zone. So let's see what's going on with your tarot. Okay. Let's see. So I would say also to inwardly, Scorpio, I feel like you're in the right energy, okay? Because this is the middle card, all right? And it's literally union, all right? But flanking you, right, is this like release, surrender, purge, you know, kind of has this like, I don't know, Eight of Swords vibe, something like that. And then you have this like comfort zone, you know, sort of flanking you as well. So I feel like the outward energy of you is possibly not really comfortable, but the integration of you and the union of you inside inwardly is strong. Okay. So the feminine energy, being like the moon energy of oneself, might need to like learn more about release and surrender and like purging things from the subconscious. Whereas the masculine side of you may need to learn how to not cling to the comfort zone. Okay. All right. So what's going on for Scorpio as far as what is next in love? Romantic love. Right now, I feel like the feminine side is on both sides. Because the south node, I feel like, I think that is feminine, whereas the north node is masculine. I could be wrong about that, though. I'm not sure. Okay, so let's see. What do we have going on for Scorpio, please? What's been going on? What is going on? What's coming in as far as what is next in romantic love for Scorpio? 9 of Cups wanting to come out, Scorpio. All right, it was showing it. Oh, hello, 2 of Cups. Okay. Ooh. All right. I do see something, Scorpio. Definitely coming in. All right. Wow. This is actually really, really nice. Okay. Okay. 4 wands. Looking at things from a different perspective. Okay. I think this is a good reading. So in the recent past, okay, so we do have Virgo and Leo showing up in this reading, but it does not have to be either of those signs. All right, but in the recent past, we see this energy of like the Hermit highlighting the Two of Cups here. All right, but the interesting thing is the Queen of Wands is sort of not really like looking at that. So if you may be connecting with someone more on a deeper level, but not seeing it. Okay, so for some of you Scorpios, it's like, I mean, not that you're like not noticing it, because I don't know a Scorpio in the world who wouldn't notice something like that. But you may not be like paying attention to something. Like the Hermit is shining the light on something, saying, "Look at this. This could be like a stronger connection than you are realizing." Okay, so in the current energy, you have the Strength card, the Page of Wands, and the Ace of Pentacles. So again, there's this like energy of resistance. You have this card, like surrender. All right, so some of you, there may be a situation presently, or something that is coming in like within, I would say, 30 days or something very soon. All right, where you may be speaking with someone, and it's like it is more grounded than you may be giving it credit for. All right, with the Ace of Pentacles, it is like, get curious about this situation, because instead of like resisting so much. So I do feel like there is something to, or someone, to be curious about here, without like, don't make a snap judgment about something, Scorpio, or well, I don't see that Two of Cups energy in 2 seconds. It's like there's something here where I do feel like there is a chance for something to become very like solid or grounded coming into your energy here. All right, and then you have like the eight, like I feel like it keeps coming and you keep resisting it. Scorpio. And it's like, but it's showing up, so for a reason. And you have this Page of Cups and the Fool card, and I feel like it's like this energy that could be really fun, like, and grounded. All right, like both for you. So I don't know, something to either like possibly reconsider, all right, if it is something from the past, or something coming into the current energy. Maybe like a lot of like, be open to adventure and fun, all right, with this situation, because it could be very grounded also, which, all of us Scorpios, we seek that sort of like, that comfort zone in a way, right? But this is like, this is definitely going out of the comfort zone and having like more of faith and fun in a situation, rather than immediately assessing like, well, is this, going to go somewhere, or is this going to be grounded, or is this going to be stable, or something like that. Instead of immediately assessing all that stuff, like just surrender to like the idea of having fun, some adventures, things like that. And I feel like as you do that, then things will fall into place. Jigsaw falling into place, right? Coming into place for you. So it looks fun. I feel like you have definite communication coming in. All right. I mean, we have these pages, these new, fresh energies. And I do feel there's something about like adventure or something along those lines. I don't know. Maybe a person like really likes to hike or go outdoors, or I don't know, something like that, like in your near future. Okay. So that was Scorpio. Let's go to Sagittarius. Okay, Sagittarius. So let's see what the message is for you. Okay. Sagittarius, as far as what is next in romantic love. Okay. Change and courage are at the bottom of the deck. Okay. It takes courage to be, a hobo and hop a train. I was like, what the hell is she doing? She's like, what is that picture? It's like she's all like super dressed up, and she's carrying luggage along the train tracks. Okay, I don't know. So, not that kind of courage. All right. Let's see. Facade beliefs, apology forgiveness, and party external. Interesting. Okay, so facade and beliefs. What is that picture? Oh, okay, so he's removed his face and he's looking at his face. It took me a minute to get I'm like, what the hell's going on in that photo? It's really hard to see, but his like face is like he's holding it in his hand. All right, so So possibly like, I don't know, believing in the facade of things or something rather than like the real in touch, side of things. We have this apology and forgiveness also card. You have a lot of masculine energy cards showing up here. And then we have this like party and external card with like kind of three like women, maybe in the limo, having fun, going out for the night, something like that. So let's see. I'm not exactly sure what I'm getting from this. Okay, so if you're a masculine, like right away, like you may be imagining like that your person is off like having this great time dating, hanging out with her friends, and doing all these things. Things aren't always what we are. I mean, I don't know. It just seems a little odd. Let me see what the tarot cards come out and say. Okay, so let's see. Or there may be a masculine in your life that misses you, and they just envision you out having all this fun without them. They may also feel like if it's masculine energy, like that their looks are, everything, or something like that, and instead of like deeper surface things. Okay, let's see what's going on with Sagittarius. Sagittarius, please. What has been going on? Oh, there you are. Yeah. Okay. What has been going on? What is going on? And what's coming in for a Sagittarius, please? Okay. Yeah, Three of Cups, like party time or something like that. Yeah, someone's imagining you out there like having this great time or something like that is what I'm getting. Yeah, they're holding on to that. Either that or you used to have like a great time with this person. Yeah, they're in there. This is a masculine reading, so this might not be everyone's reading. All right, so we either have cross watchers who are watching about their Sagittarius masculine or something like that, or we have Sagittarius masculine watching a few of those, or this is about like like your masculine or something like that. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's this masculine energy who has this like has it in their head that they have to look a certain way before they do something, or they have to look a certain way before they look that person up again, or something like that. And also too, I feel like there's this masculine energy who, like I said, just like holds on to this idea that you're just like this, party chick that has like all, I mean, like, they're all hot, they're all out on the night of the town, it's like, it's not like they have problems, meeting anybody, right? So it's like in that's what I feel like in their head, they're thinking you're all like super hot, going out, living the life and that sort of thing. All right. Like that's what they keep, or like if that's the way they met you, like they hold on to that. They hold on to how that was, or that vision of you when they met you at like, through a party or at a dance club or, something like that, right? Kind of thing. It's very specific, so I don't know if this is going to hit with everybody. You can check your Venus or Moon if this doesn't, sit right for you. But they're very much in their head about how to like either like get back together with you or to experience you again or something like that. Maybe you guys had like a pretty hot night. This could even have been like, years ago or something. And somebody is like just still holding on to it and thinking about you. And maybe, they want to apologize because possibly they realized like, they were living a facade in the past. And hey, it was just back in those days when we were partying, something like that. So somebody may be looking you up from like back in the day, if that makes sense for you, if you're old enough to have back in the day. Okay. And like wanting, like to show you like, hey, I've grown up now, I want to talk to you and, move forward or something like that. So it could absolutely be like out of the blue. All right, hearing from a connection from someone. And I feel like you have like memories from back then, or, something. It could be 5 years ago, 10 years ago for some of you, more. Hello, party girl in the 90s. Who knows? It could be a long span of time. But it's like, I do feel like someone is like looking for you or like looking to connect with you. I feel like they like want to apologize. And, like, oh man, I was like just so fake back then. Or, I was all about my looks or, something like that. Or, but they have held on to that memory. That's what I see. So again, not everybody's reading, but that's what it feels like to me. Others of you, I mean, it could be the other way around. You may be that person. All right. So like if you're a masculine energy watching this reading, like that might be you. All right. There might be someone that like you just keep holding on to this particular image of them from the past, possibly. Or if this is a newer person, like you have this image that they're like this big, out having fun and dating and doing all these things that you're not even bothering to go after them. When again, that might not be true at all, right? So the best thing to do is instead of like spying or staying on the sidelines is find out, right? Text them, ask them out, move forward, towards this person, something like that. So it's like unexpected, right? You might end up with something like really good. So I don't know. There's definitely an emphasis here on communication, of quick moving energy, also with these wands, and of letting go of like expectations and beliefs from what you may perceive this person as, if it's someone current or if it's someone from the past, letting go of like just holding on to that idea and communicate, look them up, death card, turn things around, something like that. But also don't expect people to be the exact way they were 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, that sort of thing too. Okay. It looks interesting. It looks like there's like something unexpected that could, be enticing. All right. Okay. So that is Sagittarius. We're on to Capricorn. All right, Capricorn. Okay, Capricorn, please. What is the message for Capricorn? We are looking at what is next in romantic love. Capricorn. Nope. Oh my. Okay. Oh my. Ooh, deception and temptation at the bottom of the deck. All right. So it could be a water sign, masculine. All right. What do we have? Oh, disharmony, triggers, conflict. Oof. Guilt, sabotage. Sounds fun. Yikes. Listen, all y'all, it's sabotage. Okay. Transcendence, unity. All right, now we're getting better. And confusion and illusions. So that's interesting because these cards, they have like little keywords on it, and I don't think they meant to make this a sentence, but it's kind of like a sentence. Disharmony triggers conflict. So, and that's a good statement. Sounds like one of my, handmade oracle cards, doesn't it? Disharmony triggers conflict. Okay. And then guilt and sabotage. I feel like a masculine is possibly, and then vanity and pride and ego. Yep. And it doesn't have to be a masculine, but it's like it kind of, that's what's pictured here. All right, sort of, there may have been a disharmony or something like that this masculine was going through. And it's like, because of that, it's like, it triggered like this conflict, and now like they feel like they sabotage something. But I do feel like their ego or vanity and pride, or yours, honestly, because that's the feminine card, all right, may be in the way, all right, of something. But we still have that deception temptation card there as well. And with the confusion with Neptune and illusions also, it's like the rose-colored glasses. I mean, disharmony is disharmony, and it very rarely, I mean, it can absolutely transcend into like unifying things and stuff like that. However, very rarely, well, like disharmony can, but it's like but very rarely will people actually like put in what's needed to truly transcend things into, when we're talking about romantic relationships, into like a harmonious union. Very rarely will they do that, because usually people don't know themselves well enough. I'm just going to be honest. You know, it's true. People typically just don't know themselves well enough, and they know others, but they don't know themselves. So it's like very rare that things will actually change and all of a sudden transcend into this wonderful, you know, unity and where you want things to be. So that would be the rose-colored glasses of Neptune and illusion and things that cause confusion also. So, and disharmony and conflict and guilt and sabotage and then ego things and stuff like that, vanity, pride, temptation, deception, you know, all those keywords that I'm seeing, you know, either at the bottom of the deck or the cards that are already out, aren't going to like blend into unity. So there's something here to possibly like remove like the rose-colored glasses about and see very clearly that disharmony, it doesn't just turn into harmony, right? No matter how much we want to just believe it will, it can, like I said, but it's very rare that what it takes to do that is going to transpire between two people. Because even if you know yourself very well, let's say then you make the efforts and you do know yourself, and it's like, and you're very good at knowing others and things like that, well, that's cool, you've transcended, but they haven't, right? Or vice versa, right? So it's that's why I say it's very rare when something is already in disharmony for it to like really truly fix itself in this way. All right, so let's see though, what do we have for Capricorn? Okay, Capricorn, please. Capricorn. Okay. Capricorn. What has been going on? What is going on? What is coming in? Capricorn. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Could be Gemini. You have Gemini, you have Scorpio here. Okay. Cancer, Pisces. Getting Sagittarius vibes also. Even though there's nothing here that is Sagittarius, but it has like a little bit of that vibe. Well, yeah, that makes sense with the Neptune, rose-colored glasses kind of thing. Even that's very Piscean, but yeah, I see this as being a Sagittarius vibe type reading. Okay. I don't know. I feel like in the recent past, just something just didn't work out very well with communication. That's what I'm getting. I just feel like there's two different communication styles here, and like someone was more about taking time, building a plan, something like that, and then someone was very impulsive. All right, is what I'm seeing in the recent past. Okay. In current energy, I do see a King of Cups here. I do feel like someone wants to come toward you, Capricorn. I do. I feel like they, and that's probably why this is showing, like to prepare you, because someone may be coming back around or something along those lines. So I feel like it's saying like to prepare you, like, has this ever felt like true unity as far as like long lasting unity? Not just unity like when you guys were, you know, in bed together, or unity when you know, shared an ice cream together, whatever. You know, it's like true unity of a working partnership, right? Because it's like, I feel like there's too many triggers and disharmonies and things like that here. And I think that's why this is preparing you, saying, you know what, this person's probably going to be coming back around, all right, or messaging you again out of the blue. But it may be because, you know, when I see the Five of Cups and like communication cards, or like somebody coming toward you from the Five of Cups, it's usually to me a little bit of a like red flag. We'll call it a beige flag, right? But really it's a red flag, typically of someone who is not happy in their life, right? They've had like some sort of like disappointment, and so then out of the blue they call you, you know, kind of thing. Well, that's usually, when do we do that? usually we look up like old loves or old exes or, things like that when, like we were fine, when things were going fine. But as soon as something like depresses us or brings us down or something like that, all of a sudden then we want to talk to that, past person. Well, that's what they're doing to you, I feel. So it may be somebody who's like, they were disappointed or let down in a situation, so now they start thinking about you. Well, I had it pretty good with Capricorn. Maybe I should give them a call. Something like that. So you don't want to be someone's option in that way, and you don't want to be someone's excuse, because I feel like it's like they're looking for an excuse not to deal with their own pain. So I would say, tread lightly with this situation. I do feel like there's, definitely some Neptune vibes around this of confusion and illusion and rose-colored glasses with a situation. That card is like really, really like standing out. So I do, and it's not just because it's pink on the card. It's like it stands out as being like a key to this reading. And it's like I feel like they are missing something in their life, and they may be convincing themselves that it's you, but I think it's no matter what. Like I feel like they may contact you and then immediately, feel like, well, yeah, go into like this low mode, again. Like they might contact you with gusto, all right, but then very quickly they fall into this, well, I don't know, kind of energy of, because they're not satisfied with something else in their life, and so they're looking for excuses, all right, so that you can be the reason why they're unsatisfied, or that person that did them wrong can be, the person that's, to blame in a situation. Something like that is what I'm seeing. So I would say tread lightly with any situations coming forward in the near future and currently. Okay, let's see. We're on to Aquarius. We are. Okay, all right, Aquarius. Let's see what's going on for you, Aquarius. All right, what is going on in romantic love? Oh, hold on one second. Okay, Aquarius, let's see what the message is for you. All right, Aquarius, what is next in romantic love, please? Oh, okay. What is next in romantic love? Okay, let's see. So we have, ego, vanity, and pride showing up. Okay. And then we have twin flames. Wow. Okay. And what's on the other side of that? Third eye. Interesting. Okay. So let's see. All right. So some of you, all right, we're going to do the tarot here to see like exactly like what it wants to talk about, like coming out. But one message that I see here, and especially with this change and courage and remember and awakening, and then fate. Wow. All right. Showing up at the bottom of the deck too, like detours and divine intervention. Okay. So one of the things I see here, the twin flame card. All right. So most of you know me enough on this channel, but some of you that are new here, I'm not a huge fan of like the whole twin flame movement of things. Do I believe they exist? Yes, but in a different way. Like I feel like twin flames are for good. All right. So I one of the most common things I say on this channel is that if you are like, because I think there's a lot of programming out there that capitalizes on this whole twin flame thing and how tumultuous it is and how like deeply romantic that is to go through this torture and like all these things, and I always say no, that's a bad relationship. It's like that there's a difference between a bad relationship and that sort of thing. You can try to mask it as a twin flame scenario, but a bad relationship is a bad relationship. So whereas twin flames are more, the way I believe in them personally is more that it is two souls coming together, for a divine purpose, but that's also in maintaining their individuality as well. So in a positive way, like it should be a very positive experience is the way I see it. So there may be something here with the vanity, pride, ego, energy here of like, and the third eye, which is clarity here of do we really want someone, or have we convinced someone is our twin flame or do we really want someone because it's good for our self-esteem, or or maybe it hurt our ego or our pride that someone isn't responding, so we put it in the tumultuous twin flame category. And like, I don't think, when it says ego, vanity, and pride, I'm not, I don't feel like that's, automatically like you, Aquarius, like, oh, you're being so egotistical, or, oh, so just vanity or something like that. But we do have to understand that all of us have those traits, within us, and to sometimes relationships that are difficult, or feel like they should be more, or something like that. Sometimes they're also relationships that just validate, our ego side of ourselves rather than our true soul. All right, kind of thing. So I feel like with this third eye and clarity, there's something deeper to see within a situation, rather than labeling it a twin flame and that's that, kind of thing. So let's see what else we get with the tarot. All right. Okay. Because sometimes when like relationships don't work out, it hurts our ego, it hurts our pride, right? And it's like, so then we want to label it something that, to ease that pain in a way. All right. Okay, so let's see. What do we have for Aquarius? What has been going on? What is going on? What's coming in as far as what is coming next in romantic love? All right. Oh, all right. Little Temperance angel. Okay, what is coming next in romantic love for Aquarius? Okay. Okay. Okay, I do see communication for you. Okay, all right. The Tower. Okay. Yeah, and then, okay. Okay, let me see what am I getting from this? All right, hold on. Let me just sit with the vibe for a second. Yeah, there's something here more about clarity as far as like where you are going. All right, in like a positive way. And I do feel like I do feel a strong message here that some of you possibly do need to, and I'm not trying to, tell you how to think or how to live or whatever, but, that need to get away from that twin flame concept for some reason. All right. And again, I'm not against, that concept, but in the way that it's thrown around in most of this kind of genres way, I'm not in agreement with it personally. I just don't feel like how can two wrongs, or too many issues, or too many misconceptions, and too many, how can that possibly be, this grand divine, and I know, I don't want to take that away from people, where it's like I have a feeling, that could piss some people off or something, but it's, I gotta say what, I gotta say, because it's like we learn and grow from these things. The things that piss us off are the things that we need to learn and grow from, unfortunately. And that's something I struggle with, because I hate it just as much as you. It's like hearing things, that piss me off, are things that to pay attention to, because there's a reason why they tick us off. So, and I think that there is something to this, where it's like, it's not about twin flames. It's more about something or someone has possibly hurt that ego side of ourselves, and then it's like that makes us feel less than, when it's simply just not true. It is not true. All right, you are not that's just the ego. All right, but you yourself are divine, unique, created, from divine particles, right? And it's like, your soul can, it's just beautiful, right? But our ego and personality can definitely get in the way of those things. So I am seeing something here about using your third eye for more clarity rather than manifestation. All right, like if you're trying to manifest a twin flame, or you're trying to manifest like someone back or something like that, I feel like that is not that's coming from more like that ego side of things. Whereas it's like use your third eye for clarity, all right, in situations. Especially, yeah, because I do feel like there's like a soul tie or a connection here from that's nostalgic. This is showing up in the recent past, like Six of Cups energy is usually some sort of past life connection that has come into this life that does feel very comfortable, but it's not always meant to be long lived or romantic. Also, sometimes it's just meant to, like you guys might have both agreed in like past life energy, you know, to have this like friendly, you know, comfortable connection to help each other through confusion. All right. So that doesn't necessarily mean it's supposed to be a romantic situation, or that you're, or even if it is a romantic situation, that it's supposed to be there forever. So there's something about understanding the cycle and balance of things, I feel, that will like really like move you forward. Understanding reciprocity of that type of energy. Also getting more curious with newer things in your life also I feel is like highly beneficial. But I do see communication coming in. This could be a Virgo. You do have a couple cards of Scorpio here. You have an Earth energy also showing here. You have Cancer and Aries showing here. So, you know, there's a lot of different placements that are showing here. But the Hermit is highlighting like to get curious more about like understanding the balance and the reciprocity of things. All right, like you get what you give. All right, it's as simple as that. You get what you give, and even though that's as simple as that, it's not always simple as that because of our ego, our pride, our you know, things like that. So it's like, with the Chariot here, the Emperor and the Four of Swords, I feel like there's something, yeah, to give thought, like really good, deep thought here as to, you know, especially to like if you're more like masculine energy, like are you moving forward because, because it's again like truly like a soul connection, or are you moving forward because it's like you want to like prove to yourself something, right, with that Emperor card. So like give some deep thought as to how you want to move forward, or who is coming back into your life. You know, this Emperor could represent someone who may be messaging you or wanting to come forward or something like that. Are you really moving forward with this person, or is this person like no, immovable? You know, the Emperor isn't really like a big action taking person as far as themselves, like, so because I mean think about like the Emperor archetype. It delegates, right? It controls, you know, the things. So it wears armor, you know, doesn't let too many in, you know, things like that. So it's like, are you trying to move forward with an Emperor who is like stoic and not, you know, not mutable? And if so, think about then, you know, how is that equal reciprocity? You know, those types of things. So I would say this is more of like, this is a read that could probably go on for like 30 minutes because it's got so many like deeper, you know, connotations to it. So the best I can do to sum it up in, you know, with a reasonable time frame here is to just just consider what's been said here, right? And see if there's anything to that, if any part of it possibly rings with you, because there's just something here about making sure that movement forward is movement forward on a soul level, all right? Not on a just to satisfy that our petulant child or our ego or, you know, things like that. And again, I don't say that in a critical way. We all have it. I have the petulant child. I have the ego. You know, it's like I'm not saying like you have this, right? It's like we all have this, and it is difficult at times to kind of tell the difference. So the best way to tell the difference is to, like I said, use more of like your meditation skills and things like that for clarity, rather than for trying to attract certain things right now, because you might be attracting certain things from the ego place rather than the soul place. Okay, so that's what I see for Aquarius. So we are on to Pisces. We are all right. Okay, Pisces, please. What is the message for Pisces? What is next in romantic love? Pisces. Okay. All right. Divine timing. Trust divine timing is underneath the deck. Okay, so we have action, courage, Jupiter, beginnings. Oh, wow. All right. Oh my God. It looks like, it totally does, because he's carrying a torch. It looks like Jack from Lost. All right. Not my favorite character on Lost. I was a Locke fan, personally. I liked Locke and Echo and Ben, of course, because I like my weirdos. Okay, what else do we have? Mercury, messages, travel, communication. All right. And distance, retreat, or time out. Okay. That is showing here. And you have Mercury, messages, travel, and communications. Okay, so that makes me think of like distance, because it's like a bottle in the ocean. And this literally says distance. I feel like you may, like someone's taking action, possibly to invite you somewhere, or they may be at a distance or something like that. Like, so like if you've met someone online, for instance, and they live in a different state, or, you know, they live a little further away, or maybe a lot further away, or something like that. I feel like there's a masculine energy that is like having like the courage to communicate with you, because they want like a beginning with you. So I do feel like this person is at a distance. That part is coming out very clear. Yeah, the Fool card, right? Yeah, someone's taking action toward you, Pisces. I see that again. Yeah, could be wanting to. This person is typically like a loner, I feel. I am getting like this energy of someone, like a masculine energy. It doesn't have to be, but I'm getting a masculine energy of someone who's typically more of a, like they're very self-reliant, and they're a bit of a loner, not because they don't like people or something like that, but because it's like, I feel like they have a difficult time like finding quality. All right, is what I'm getting. So it's like, I feel like if this person is taking action toward you, it's because they see quality. All right. So that's a nice, yeah. Somebody's coming toward you that like they want to, I also feel like they're at a point in their life where they, like it's taken a lot of courage for them, but they do want to like have a new beginning in life. Okay, so that is intriguing. Let's see what's going on, Pisces. Okay, Pisces. What has been going on, what is going on, and what is coming in as far as what is next in romantic love for Pisces, please. What is next in romantic love for Pisces? I just heard this is such a special reading that it can't possibly come out in tarot. I literally just heard that. All right, so I feel like you guys do have something. I don't know if this is now or around you now or something coming in soon, but that, whatever I just said, I don't even remember what I just said, but whatever that was, like, yeah, wow. Yeah, definitely. There's a plan. Oh my gosh, yeah, definitely a plan. All right, so something good I do feel is happening for you. Could be Capricorn, could be an Aquarius, could be a Scorpio, Leo, or Virgo. All right, does not have to be any of those signs, but those are the ones that are showing up prominently. All right. But I would say Scorpio, maybe. I only said that because I saw the Death card earlier, and because we have the Tower card here. And so I read the Tower card oftentimes as like, you know, Mars energy or like Pluto, you know, total rebuild or something like that. But it's like, I would say Capricorn, Aquarius, Leo, and Virgo are showing up here pretty strong. Okay, because the Tower card just could indicate like something's very unexpected. So I do feel like you're going to be very happy with the current circumstances, or it's like, I feel like you're just kind of doing your thing. It's like recently you've gleaned a lot of wisdom. You put a lot of work into a new cycle for yourself, or a lot of work into something that just sort of was very, very, very just sort of, oh, I don't know, this again, just something that was stagnant in your life and you knew there needed to be change. And so I do feel like you put the work into change and you put a lot of work into like inner wisdom with the Hermit card. So I feel like now is, okay, awesome. Now's the time then to sort of like reap what you've sown, right? Like you've sown the seeds in the past and now it's time to reap and enjoy that, like new self-esteem, new self-love, new positivity, new actions, things like that. So especially if you are feminine energy, I really feel like you are kind of coming into your own in a way. All right, possibly a rebirth, with that death card that we saw, where it's like you're just feeling, like things are going to happen, things are going to change. Well, yeah, it's like trust that instinct, because I do feel like out of the blue something is happening here. It very well could be like a Capricorn Aquarius cusp, or that may be an indication of like when like things start like really developing. All right, like you may know this person already, maybe you're in contact with them now in the current energy. Some of you are, or maybe you met them in Leo season or something like that. Well, it's like expect then like further movement, I would say, like around Capricorn Aquarius season. Others of you, if you're just like, been putting a lot of effort into a new cycle for yourself and getting yourself on board with like self-love and motivation and positivity and, all those good things, then it's like out of the blue, a plan shows up, right? So that could be out of the blue. Is very difficult to predict in tarot, the Tower card. It could mean today. It could mean, 5 minutes from now. It could mean Aquarius season, Capricorn season, something like that, when you're not, it's when you're not expecting it. So it's like, I'm not even going to try to clarify it because it shouldn't be clarified. It's when, it happens when you're not expecting it. That's the answer. Okay. And I do feel like this is very positive movement forward. I feel like this person has put, they may be a little younger, but they have put so much behind them. Like they have like an old soul for sure. Like they have put a lot like behind them and are ready to move forward toward a plan. They see you and like your beauty, and they definitely want to like acknowledge that. I feel like this person has genuine, it's not like, oh yeah, I want to hit that. It's not like that kind. It's like they have a genuine interest in you. Like they're very drawn to you. So I do feel like, and you, them, I do feel like this is going to be a really good connection that shows up for you. So yeah, I mean, it looks very positive. A lot of very positive and again unexpected, but yet expected energy is what I see. All right, and like that expected part is like that's the soul part of you that's expecting it. So even though it's unexpected to you in your physical world, like your soul is expecting this. It knows this is coming. All right, that's what I see. So very nice reading for you, Pisces. All right, thank you guys so much, and I will see you soon. All right, bye.